Hi everyone. In this video we will be going through the path 1 of GCP Goat. In the previous video we have gone through the second path in which we started with a normal user in the web application and we were able to escalate our privileges to the administrator for that particular web application. So in the last video we compromised the account of John Doe, which is administrator, and we were able to change his password and then log in as administrator. So let's see the first path, how to proceed with the first one. So we will first need to find storage buckets within this application. So one of the storage bucket we found for this functionality. So if I show you once again, send this to repeaters, and so this is the first bucket which we found in the previous video as well. Let's save this here. So the bucket name is this. Second bucket you can find here. So click on any of these posts, and if you open this image in new tab, you will see that this image is also stored in some other bucket, and the name of the bucket is this prod blog app. And you can just try to click everywhere in this application, and you can also see your burp for the buckets. So it is showing only one because we have not loaded this image in the browser. That's why. Now, yeah. So two buckets we are able to identify in this application. So what we can do is we can try to uh, enumerate permissions or try to find the permissions for this particular buckets. For that, there are two ways. So first is you can directly call a API, that is this one. And you need to modify or replace this to the bucket name which you are trying to uh, enumerate. Then copy this, call, and we have only reading files permissions, so we don't have list files permissions for this prod log app bucket. And you can check that as well, that we don't have list file permissions by uh, going to the URL as well. So copy this, paste, and if we remove this, enter. So access denied. we don't have this list permission, storage objects.list. That's why we are not able to list the files or and folders. Similarly, you can check for the other bucket. Copy, paste, enter. Same error. We don't have this permission. That's why we are not able to list files. And we can try to run this API for this first one as well. Copy, paste. Oh, sorry. Copy, paste. What is going on? Copy, paste. Yeah. Copy, curl. Same thing. We only have reading files permissions for both of these buckets. And there is one more tool which you can use. That is this one, GCPBucketBrute. So I have already installed this. /opt. Yes, I have this. cd/opt/GCPBrute. And for using this, we need to run this GCPBucketBrute py --help. So what we need to do is we need to check and then the bucket name, prod, for example, and -u for unauthenticated. Enter. So same thing this tool will tell you. You can use either this tool or this API, or one and the same thing. Okay. Uh, so next thing what you can try to do is you can try to uh, enumerate which bucket exists. So what I'm trying to say is, if we modify the name of this bucket, let's say this one, to, let's say, staging maybe, and press enter here. So you will get error that this bucket does not exist. So by changing the names or modifying the this bucket name, you can determine which buckets exist or which does not exist. So what we can try to do is, so staging does not exist, prod existed. Uh, let's try stage. Stage is not there as well. Let's try uh, development. Development is also not there. Let's try short of development, dev. Yeah, so this bucket exists, but we don't have listing files permissions for this particular bucket. So like this, you can enumerate buckets which are publicly accessible, okay, by just modifying this bucket names. And this tool also does this have this functionality to do that. You can use this tool for doing those enumeration. Uh, so we have determined that this bucket existed. Now we can again use this tool, and now we need to give full path because I am in some other directory. opt slash GCPBrute slash, and remove these -u for unauthenticated. Enter. So for this bucket we have these permissions. So this will also tell you that this bucket is vulnerable to privilege escalation. And why? Because we have set IAM policy permission. So what this means is we can change or modify this IAM policy for this particular bucket. So currently, if you see, we cannot list files within this bucket. We can only read files, but we can read files, but if we know the path of that file, and we don't know any path or any folder which exists in this bucket. So let's try to abuse this um, set IAM policy. So for this, either you can uh, go through the documentation for this API. So this is the, so we need to send a put request to this and modify this, change this bucket to the our bucket name, and we need to pass these as the body. So I have already created this JSON. You can also do this using gsutil. One and the same thing, okay? Either you can use gsutil or you can manually send this put request uh, by going through this documentation. Okay, you can do any one of those. For simplicity, let's do this. gsutil IAM change. So ch is for change. All users admin. So what we are basically doing here is we are giving all users administrator access. Okay. Um, Copy paste and enter. So we didn't got any output for this. Now if we again run the again check the permissions for this bucket, you can see we got all the permissions which a user can get for this bucket. So now we can list files, we can delete files, we can add new files using this create, and yeah, many more things. Also, uh, instead of using uh, this tool for enumerating the permissions for this bucket, we can directly use this get a IAM policy as well by again reading the documentation, and so we will be able to read this using this get IAM policy API request as well. Okay, so let's list the files now, and you can again use this gsutil for that, or directly if you enter means reload this, then we are able to read files. For viewing the contents clearly, uh, let's use gsutil, and the command for that will be gsutil ls is for listing files, ls and then gs colon slash slash name of our bucket, paste. So we have three folders within this bucket: images, shared, and web files. Shared seems interesting initially, so let's see shared folder. Again, we have two folders within this shared folder. Let's see files. So within the files folder, we got a .sh folder. So this, if you are familiar with this, uh, so this folder contains sh configuration files as well as sh keys, uh, which also contains private sh keys. So if we found so this folder usually contains private keys as well. So if you get access to the to sh private key, so you can use that private key to log into uh, a machine if that sh key is valid for some machine or a set server. Okay. Uh, so now you can use -r flag for recursively listing the files within this .sh folder. And we have all these files. Uh, so let's read this config.txt because this is a non-default file. Uh, Somebody has placed this file intentionally here. You will not see this file .txt file within .sh folder by default. Okay, so let's try to read this file. Uh, for reading, we just need to modify ls to cat. So these are the contents of config.txt. Copy, paste, and we got multiple IP addresses within this file. And what you can uh, do is extract all the IP addresses and try to do a port scan for port number 22. And just by looking as well, you can determine which one is public IP So these IPs starting from 10 are not public IPs. Uh, this seems a public IP. This this is also a public IP, and 172 IPs are also not public IPs, if I am correct. Not sure. Yeah, but I have not seen any. Yeah, I have not seen any public IP starting with 172. Uh, so these two are interesting. This one and first one. So let's do a nmap scan minus pn minus n minus pn is for skipping the ping scan, minus n is for skipping the DNS resolution, and minus minus disable ARP ping. Yeah, so self-explanatory. Uh, Copy this as well, paste. Minus P is for specifying port number, minus VV is for verbosity. Yeah, so we got uh, SH server on this IP, on this 25.35.197.34.253. So this first IP is running a SH server. So if we go back to the output of the files, uh, we can see we have this file justin.pem, this file uh, here. Okay, so we can now cat this file, or let's do directly download this file. So for downloading this, you can for downloading a file, you can directly use cp command. No need to cat. You can cat as well, your wish. Yeah, you can do anything, any of these. Um, let's download that in temp directory, justin.pem. So downloaded, and we have justin.pem. Next thing is you need to modify the permissions for the private key, because if you do not do that, you will get an error by sh while using this key for logging in. Chmod 400, 400 is the uh, this is for user, 4 is for user, 0 is for group, and the next 0 is for others. So I don't remember what do we mean by 4, but it is pretty low permissions. Yeah. Chmod 400 slash tmp slash justin.pem, and if we again list, so earlier permissions were read write and read for group and others as well, and after changing this, so we got only read. So 4 is for reading, read only permission. Okay. uh, yes, so now we can try to log in. SSH what is the name? Yeah, Justin at the rate uh, IP address, which is this, paste, minus I slash tmp slash justin.pem, Yes. So we logged in using this private key. Okay. And if we run id command here, we are just in. And let's see the host name. Host name is developer VM. So currently we are in developer VM. So if you see the diagram, uh, we are here development VM. Okay, so now here we need to do enumeration. First, let's try to run bash here because this is sh. Uh, so now it is much more user friendly. So we can try to read files, find other users, many things you can try to do. Simplest is you just run enumeration scripts like linpeas or linenum for automation. So while solving this challenge, I used linpeas. Let's do that. So what is going on here is we are downloading the linpeas.sh and then directly passing this script to sh. Now it will take some time. In the meantime, we can log in once again in another uh, window. Justin at the rate this IP minus I slash tmp slash justin.pem. So we have config folder. If we list files within this, uh, we have lxc, uh, lxc config.yml, not interesting, cd slash do 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 cd ls minus ls slash root, permission denied as expected. We can try to as we are in GCP environment, we can try to use that API. Uh, Let me show you. 1.6. Yeah, metadata API. Copy, call, and in GCP we also need to send this header. -h. Yeah. Uh, Going through this, we got many things. Yeah, so these are the steps which CTF developer took for creating the CTF. Uh, Next we have instance name developer VM. You already know that. Service accounts, default scopes. So this, so our service account is this for this VM compute engine. So this is our service account with which this compute VM is running, and we have all these permissions. Um, so for compute, let's try to do some operations and see whether we can list or do anything with the compute API. So for doing that, we need to install GCP uh, CLI here, gcloud. Okay, yeah, so this is still running. So let's see whether we have gcloud installed here. Yeah, we have gcloud. Gcloud auth list. Okay, yeah, the same thing we got here. So this is our service account, which is currently configured within this VM. And we got, let's try to list compute instances. Gcloud uh, compute list. What is the command? Compute. Yeah, compute instances here. Okay, compute instances list. Okay, so we have permission to list compute instances. So currently we are in this developer VM, and we have one more uh, compute instance with name admin VM. Now for logging into this VM, there is a command gcloud compute instance ssh, or compute ssh, not instance. And name of this VM, enter, yes. Yeah, so we got into admin VM. One more thing I want to show you guys is, uh, let me exit from here. So we can try to list our roles as well. Uh, yeah, no, we cannot do that, no. Uh, so linpiece call minus L, yeah. So linpiece give you this information in detail, which what we were seeing manually. Mm, yeah, so you can go through this. Yeah, so we can directly log in like this. Compute as such admin VM. Yes. So if we again run our metadata API here, call minus h this header, copy and paste. So if we see here, uh, so this is our service account, admin minus service minus account for this project. This is the project name. Default scope. Yeah, so if you see, we have cloud platform as default scope. So which is an indication that we have access to everything in the cloud platform. we can authenticate to everything. Uh, so let's see whether we have gcloud installed here as well or not. Yes, we have gcloud uh, auth list. Yeah, so this is our account with which we are logged in right now, and let's try to uh, get roles assigned to this. For that we have command this projects gcloud projects get IAM policy and then the name of the project. Projects get minus IAM minus policy, and then the project name is this. Copy paste. Okay, so these are the roles. Uh, 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 and yeah, so we have editor role, uh, editor role and owner role. So this is the administrator. Okay. So we have administrator privileges for this particular project. So this is the highest role which a user can get, role slash owner, and our service account has this role. Yeah, so that's it for this demonstration. Uh, we have seen part 1. Yeah, thank you for watching.